Ah! Ah! That was so hard. So this challenge is certainly based off of things I have already told the chatbot, because I've already done this, sort of. A few years ago, I kind of looked into what it would take to get a brain scan done, just because I thought it'd be kind of cool to have an image of my brain. So I found a lab that needed participants to help with some brain research studies, and I signed up. So I participated in 2 of their studies so far, and I'm actually about to start a 3rd one. When I did my first one last year, they gave me a USB drive of all of the images that they took during my brain scans. And I found some various software that was able to not only create some like GIFs of the brain, but also convert it into a full 3D model, which I was then able to take and send to a 3D printer who made these. So these ones, I had a few of these made. They're a 1/8 scale, so they're half, half, and half in each dimension. And I kind of just thought these would be pretty cool. They were fairly cheap to have printed. But then this one is a full-size model of my actual brain. So this is, you know, hard, some type of plastic. I don't know exactly what it was, but what I don't have is a realistic feeling one. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Step 1 is to actually cut out and make a box that's gonna hold this so I can create the mold. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that now. The box is done. I'm gonna go ahead and spray the brain with some mold release, and then mix up some of the BB Dino platinum silicone rubber. All right, it has been over 5 hours, so it looks like it held fairly well. It's definitely hard. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this open. I just need to figure out now how to cut into it to be able to pull out the brain and then be able to obviously fill it. This is probably the part I'm most scared about because I don't really know what I'm doing. This is like way too solid. Like, there's no squishiness to this at all. I thought this was meant to be like fairly squishy, that I could just kind of cut a slit and peel it around, you know? It's not working at all like that, so I don't know. Don't really know what to do about this. I feel like my only option is literally just cut it in half now. Even cutting this in half is gonna be a massive pain. Ooh, that may have done it, that may have done it. Okay, this part at least. Oh my gosh. This part, you can actually see the brain now. I think we have separation. So there, I'm just trying to be really gentle because there's a bunch of like folds and everything that like the blue stuff is like in all the folds. So I'm trying not to break those off or tear them. But man, this has been tough. Oh, there it is, there it is. Yeah, it snapped, it snapped. It didn't release at all. This stuff is not This is not what I should have used. What I should have had done is just had them 3D print me a mold. Then I could just use the mold, but I mean, I've had this for a while, so it's not like I had planned on doing this, but there you go, there's the top bit. Ugh. Now, I haven't even tried to start on this bottom, so this is probably gonna be worse. That was so hard. But look, oh my gosh, so the bottom, you can see all this blue still in there. That's all the parts that did not release. I basically had to break them off or cut them. But all these little pieces, that's so much. Okay, we're gonna try to move on to the actual cast now. So I've got these EcoFlex, what are they, double out 30. And these are supposedly gonna be as close to a braid feel as you can get to real life. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour these out. I've got kind of a reference guide on color. So these are all the different pigments. I'm gonna try and get that as accurate as possible and then pour it in and let it sit. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pour it in from the top here. And kind of let it fill up on both sides. And hopefully that'll work. I guess we'll see. It is all leaking out. That was a disaster. So clearly the tape didn't hold these together as well as I had expected. I guess we'll just see how this looks after it dries. So that didn't work at all. These two are completely, like, they've welded together essentially. I have tried for probably 2 hours to get this at all unstuck. I've tried cutting through the blue and just actually getting to it, hoping to maybe free a little bit. It is as if they are just one piece. There's nothing I can do about this. So these are just wasted. I also tried to use a little toothpick type thing to pick out as much of this blue stuff as I can to reuse this, and that is not working at all either. This stuff is just way too wedged in there. I think this is just ruined now too. So I did pick up a new kit. So this is an alginate mold instead of the diamond silicone, whatever. So I probably should have gone with this in the first place. It's a lot cheaper. I think it's easier to work with. This is a lot less permanent. So the idea of using this blue is that I would actually have molds that I could reuse. But this stuff just, there's no way of getting it out. These are just basically big paperweights now. I think what I'm just gonna do is do replicas using this smaller brain that I have. They came out. They came out really well, actually. So these were the original ones I had made, and they actually feel entirely different. So these ones are really sticky. quite a bit softer. Look at the details. It is incredible. It actually came out extremely well. And yeah, I mean, it's really squishy. Like, you can kind of hear it maybe. And again, the details are crazy. I mean, there's literally, you know, folds that you can kind of peel apart and see. Like, I am thoroughly impressed. And then the big one, look at these crabs. It is so cool. It's just one big piece. That is a replica of my brain. I really should have just started with an alginate and done that from the beginning because it was infinitely easier to work with. This was kind of a good shade, I thought, but it ended up being way too light. And so I went way heavier, and I think these are the ones I tried to do accurate. I think they came out almost a perfect color. This one, I tried to do kind of more of a standard fleshy color because I also, if you probably noticed, made this. So this is a little peace sign. You can tell how floppy this material is. All right, I guess that does it for me. So I was editing this video and it kept bugging me that I didn't get a full-size replica like I'd really wanted. So I cleaned out as much of the blue material as I could. I bought one more batch of silicone, and finally, here it is. This is a life-size, accurate replica of my actual brain. It is squishy, it is the right color, it has some incredible detail, and it feels a bit surreal to be holding this. Thanks for watching the video. Peace. Congratulations to Mike for winning the book that I used in the book report episode. You are my oldie Patreon, so you win by default. I will give that to you tomorrow when I see you because you're my dad.